Hey, welcome to Cinema Sitdown. Today I made my friends watch the movie Carol, and we'll talk about it right after this, so stay tuned. So yes, welcome to Cinema Sitdown. I am Megan Weaver, your host for this episode, and I'm joined with
Addi Miller,
Madeline Otero,
and Kayla Blankenship.
And today we just watched the movie Carol, which came out in 2015. Did not write down the director. Should have thought of that beforehand. But so I guess we'll just start off. What are you guys' initial thoughts on the movie? I don't care where we start.
Sure, yeah, I'll go first. No, I thought it was really beautifully done, just everything about it. I don't watch usually like romance stuff or just mushy feely stuff. It's just not really my thing, but this, like, I don't know, it just, everything about it was just so beautifully like drawn out, and it wasn't like really intense or anything like that. I mean, you know what I mean, like plot
it's a very,
wise,
like,
it
slow
wasn't. Yes,
movie.
Very almost like slow burn kind of thing, and I really appreciated that, and it. Yeah, I don't know. It was just really well made.
I loved it. I thought it was so, like, beautifully, like, composed. And I was watching it, and first, I loved the grain that was over it. Gotta take a moment for the grain. I love the grain.
Can I get one of the fun facts I have? That was actually shot on super 16mm film, so they didn't have to. So they shot it to make it look like it was.
That's cool.
It was shot in the 50s when the movie is set, so...
That's
something I've always heard. It's like, if you want to get that effect, don't just slap a filter over it, just go find the real thing.
They filmed it on the real film to make it look... That's why all their photos are a little, like, grainy, because the film is kind of grainy.
But everything was so beautifully composed, and there were so many shots that it felt like we were almost Teresa's camera. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of the shots of Carol in general felt like we were looking at her like the way that Teresa was looking at her. And I thought it was beautiful.
Yes.
Good point, actually. I didn't think about that. But no, I enjoyed it a lot. It's definitely like not a kind of movie I'd typically seek out, but like I agree with what you said, Addi. It's like it's slow paced, it's steady, but at times it kind of picks up. I don't know how to fully describe it, but just I like it. I like the pacing. I think it really works for the story they're trying to tell. Especially, like, they almost stick with the slower stuff even during some of the parts that aren't so slow and nice and happy, you know? So it's like, yeah.
I really like this movie. I've seen it several times, and I've realized that I do like that slower pace of, like, films. A lot of the films I like are, like, on my top list are that, like, nothing really happens for a lot of it. And it comes in just under 2 hours, which it feels...
Really?
Yeah. It was like, I think when it popped up when we watched it was like an hour 58. So, but it feels longer, doesn't it? Yeah. So yes, I personally really like the movie, and I personally really like the ending, but it is a bit of a controversial statement to say. How do we feel about the ending of Carol? And we'll start on this side this time.
Okay, I guess I'll start. It's bittersweet, and I kind of like that. You know, I feel like this is the kind of ending that this movie was kind of working towards, you know. Some people were hoping for like a happy ending. Some people were like, oh, this is gonna end in tragedy. But it's like, you don't know. It's ambiguous. It's kind of shrouded. You don't know what's gonna happen next. But I think it works. You know, it leaves you guessing. But that's kind of what the characters were going for a lot of the time throughout the movie. They were kind of guessing on how to go about things. So I think it works. I like it.
You can say whatever you want. Don't be influenced by.
Since we just watched this about 10 minutes ago, right now I give this a big boo because it just broke my heart and I crave more. I always want more. But I'm sure by tomorrow I'm going to be like, that's a really good ending. And I get it, but I just wanted more. I want more. I crave more.
No, that's...
But it was good. I wanted to see them reconnect.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's a good point. And we did literally just watched this movie. It is fresh in our memories. But no, you can go. Sorry.
No. You can keep going.
I would say I like the ending because I said, like, right before we started filming, is that it's based on a book that was published in 1952, and at the time it was one of, like, the first and only queer novels that ended in, like, a happy ending, and it was considered a happy ending for the time, even if they aren't. It is a little ambiguous of, like, will they, won't they? But, like, so I still think it's important that they, like, kept with that kind of ending and not, like, changed it from, like, the original novel ending. If I remember the novel ending right. It's been a while since I read the book, but
yeah, I would classify this, for me, I'd classify it as a happier ending, only because out of the queer movies I have watched that don't end up happy, I was like, this is gonna literally hurt me, Megan, if you pick this, and like it's just ending in tragedy the whole time. But I don't exactly know what did happen. I'm assuming, and it's implied that they probably did get back together because she went to actually go out and search for her, and then that little, like, cheeky smile of, like, seeing that she had, like, basically come back. Yeah. But it was. I wish it could have been a little bit more satisfying, but I still am satisfied with how it ended.
I think something I noticed just recently on, like my last rewatch is after Carol and Teresa's relationship is revealed and, like, they're driving away and, like, Teresa's, like, crying and she's like, I never say no, I always say yes to everything. And at the final scene at the dinner, when Carol asks to move her, she says no.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. I was like,
it's like, I really like the ending to me, like, really shows Teresa's, like, character growth and becoming, like, more, like, herself, kind of, and she's, like, grown throughout the movie.
Yeah, but she also says that because because she says that she doesn't know what she wants because she always says yes. Yeah. But she said no, and then she came back because she realized what she wanted.
True. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, no, you feel so good for her saying no. You're like, you're all good, but it still hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Because, like, and you can kind of, the whole interaction, she was stone-faced. Yeah. No emotion. I really, kudos to the actress. I don't know her name, but
Mara Rooney.
Kudos to her, because, like, stone-faced, I think that's, like, that was a good choice. But, like, it hurts the viewer, and you can see later on that she's hurting.
She really wanted to cry a little bit. She really wanted to say yes to Carol, I think.
I didn't know whether or not to cry or not. Like, there were times where I was like, oh man, that's so sad, but, like, no tears were being produced, so I was just kind of like, should I feel, like, sad? Or, like, I also didn't want to cry, and then it end up really happy, and then me be like, well, that was stupid, why did I cry for it? So I was so, like, in between, and now my head kind of hurts, because I couldn't figure it out.
Can't decide whether you want to be sad or not. So, next topic, I consider this my favorite Christmas movie. It takes place on Christmas. The beginning takes place on and around Christmas, and it's kind of has, like, a Christmassy feel. And, like, the ending's more towards New Year's, and then, like, obviously several months later. But I think it really gives off, like, a good holiday feel, personally. So, would you guys consider Carol a Christmas movie?
I just realized, is the reason why it's also Christmas is because her name is Carol?
I didn't even realize
that! Dude! Revolutionary! Am I right? They're nodding their heads back there, but
I see when they were like, they put, like, she was playing Carol music, and I'm like, oh, Carol music, haha, funny, because her name's Carol, but I didn't.
I've never thought of that. I've never thought of that. I just thought it was a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas.
And I guess that makes sense, too.
With that, I'm gonna say no, it's not a Christmas movie.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Okay. I think it, like, builds off the fact that it's Christmas, but, like, and I'm not saying, like, Christmas movies are, like, so, like, in your face, Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
And that can be good, that can be bad, but that can be good, it depends. This wasn't that. This was focusing on them. I think they just kind of used Christmas to build around that wanting to be near someone, especially when it's the holiday season. But I don't think it was a Christmas movie.
That's true.
But Christmas Carol. Oh, sorry.
Christmas Carol. No. Wait, were you gonna say Christmas Carol isn't a movie?
No, I said, but it is Christmas Carol.
I've never made that connection. Never made that connection.
I'm gonna say it's a holiday movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with
Holiday.
it. It's a holiday. It's a holiday. It's a holiday. I agree with you. I think it's a very good like holiday movie and like a winter movie.
Winter.
That's a good way to go
But
about
for the
it.
lesbians, I do kind of want to say,
That's
true.
Finally, we don't have to watch the happiest season. No one reference happiest season.
What?
No, I'm sorry.
Different movie.
Oh. We're talking about Carol.
Yes, we're on
next
Carol
time on
and
Cinema Sitdown.
But we're gonna get back to the movie Carol, and with moments that stood out to you, like scenes you liked or like character beats you liked. What was like something that stood out to you? Liked it or not? Something that stood out to you?
I did not like that one scrawny guy that was listening
Tommy
to them.
Tucker.
Oh,
No, I thought it was
Tucker.
No, I'm pretty.
Tommy
I thought it was Tucker Tommy.
No, it's
oh,
Tommy.
wait, what's he
Tucker.
just-
whatever
is
his
he using
name is.
some
Tommy
reverse?
Tucker.
Oh,
Yeah.
that made me
It's a stupid name anyway.
He literally jump scared me at the beginning. I was sitting
Yeah.
right next to Jordan,
Yeah.
and I was like, what was that? Like, his face was a ghost, and he's like,
Yeah.
like smiling so
like,
creepily
"Hi,
at her.
how are you?"
I thought he was
We-
gonna do something to
Yeah.
them.
It's like,
no.
I'm
You need help with
surprised
that?
he didn't do
I'm like,
more.
what?
Yeah, no. Tommy Tucker sucks.
I
And
didn't.
why did it take
sucks.
so long for him to put his pants on?
That's what I thought too.
They were on, and then they went back to another scene. It's like he dropped them to do it again.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what is your
He had
problem?
a gun whipped on him, and maybe he like.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
Just a
I
little
mean, just
suspicious.
maybe the
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah.
Even if it was apparently
no.
empty, which
That's true.
that sucks.
But still,
No.
no.
No, I.
Boo.
Boo.
Tommy
It was
Tucker,
funny. I didn't
Tucker,
even. I didn't even
Tommy.
expect it either. I was just like, this is like some awkward salesman who like is trying to get a girl and also sell stuff. I'm like, this guy sucks, but like I thought he was just gonna be that.
Yeah, and then he
yeah.
is the betrayer.
I know, and I put
Yeah.
together like he gave them the shortcut so he could follow them and find out where they're going. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's so. Anyway, we could move
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
from
sorry.
Tommy
Yeah.
The whole time
Tucker.
you're
but-
talking about that, I'm like, don't tell them where you're going.
No.
You never
No,
revealed
that
that.
was- that's so
Stranger
Strangers.
Danger didn't exist in 1952.
Shut up.
I forgot about that.
Okay.
not kidding.
Other moments that stood out?
Oh. You go first, please. Please, I gotta think of this.
The first one that I kind of think about is definitely the very beginning when she's on the train and it goes from like the train in the rain and into the actual like toy model.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
liked
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And I also felt like it paralleled back to when Therese is in the taxi and there's rain on the thing. And I liked that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I also liked that we started with the end of the movie at
Yes.
the beginning of
Yeah.
the movie.
Did you?
And then
No, I
she-
missed the beginning.
So
I had class.
yes, Kayla missed like the first 5 minutes in the movie.
Yeah,
so the
so
first
I'm
5 minutes of
lost.
the movie is the same scene that's the end of the movie, where it's the two of them having dinner.
No way.
That's the opening scene, shot slightly differently.
Yeah.
It's like more wide shots because we
Yes.
don't know the characters yet, but like it's it's so good. No, it's the same.
Okay, now
scene.
I gotta go
Yeah,
look up the
yeah, so
opening
I-
scene so I can really get this.
It took me a second whenever we first started it, and then it started kind of getting into
Yeah.
the story, and I'm just really slow, so the whole entire time I'm like, I thought they already met. But that makes a lot of sense.
I also liked the part, like actual scene. I liked the part when Carol was on the floor wrapping her daughter's gift, and Therese is playing playing the piano. And I just felt like it was really cute and like it was soft and it was like, oh, like they don't even really need to get to know each other. Like they already like know each other. They just it felt so comfortable.
They're vibing.
Yeah.
Alright, I do got one now. I
Okay.
thought of it. This is less of like a specific scene and more of like a cinematography thing I picked up on, which is crazy because I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's besides the point. I like how you could tell when you first see Carol in the department store. You can tell, like, there's so many people around. You can tell exactly who she is and what she's there for. Well, not what she's there for. The audience,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, she's Carol.
Yeah.
That's her. You look at her, and then there was also like not too much long after that, there was walking down the street and everyone was wearing black coats except for Carol. She was wearing a nice red, and you're like, you could see her, and you're like, that's her. That's Carol. That's the namesake. And I like stuff like that. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying at the beginning of like how we're kind of Theresa's camera. We're seeing it through that camera, and she's focusing on Carol.
Focusing. Okay, stop. Anyway.
Talking about her clothes,
Oh,
I
the
need-
outfits.
the outfits.
The fur. The hats.
No, I was like, slay.
Yeah.
I need Carol's jewelry now.
Yeah.
I need her bracelet. I need her necklace. I need it. She has like this beautiful, like, I think you kind of see it in that picture,
maybe.
but she has these beautiful, like, gold bracelets, and I'm like, give me, please. And then there's in one scene that she has this, like, thick gold, like, necklace, kind of like a choker, but it's not.
Ooh, yeah.
And I loved that one.
I just want to know who does her hair, or if she does it herself.
hair?
I want her hair.
That's also
Like,
what I
this is
noticed.
too straight.
Everybody had a bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Bring
it's
back
the
the
style of
bobs.
whenever
Bring
this
back the
happens.
bobs.
I do not look
But
at
it's
the
like
bob while I'm
every
doing it.
single person, you all need to have a bob.
Yeah.
food.
Maybe it's just easier for styling. I know nothing about the 50s, so maybe it's just like
it's almost
easier
like
to-
it was like
50s thing.
50 years before we were born.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, so my favorite scene in the movie is this opening scene right here in the department store where they like meet for the first time. It's so dynamic between the two of them, and there's like an instant connection between them, and it's like it draws you in so much, and it's so like, yeah, like these two are gonna be like in game or whatever, like I can see it from just like one like first conversation.
Like you can almost picture like an invisible rope right there tying them together.
Like these are two strangers I've never met before, but they're like so, and you can tell they're so into each other immediately. I don't know, I just love that. I just love the department store scene, and it's so good. And it's such a good like first meeting of it's like I can't think of a better scene in a movie where two characters meet for the first time. It's my favorite.
It's not so like in your face, and I laughed there for
it's
a
very
moment
subtle.
because I was thinking
very
of
subtle.
Taylor Swift's "Invisible String," and I was going to quote that, and then I decided not to.
Of course.
But just so you guys know, "Invisible String," somebody needs to make an edit of them together, and it's. I'll get back on track. But like the very first scene, it was very like Carol knows what she wants, and she goes after it.
That's true.
She saw Tress, and
From
she
across
was,
the room.
and she was
From
like,
across the
okay,
Yeah.
she's like,
Eyes meet.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Like, I think you're adorable. Come with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The line that her husband Harge, who we also hate, we hate Harge. Boo
What kind of
Harge.
name is Harge?
Harge.
Yeah, what kind of
Also,
name is Harge?
dude.
What also?
Do you own a barge?
What name
barge?
is Rindy?
No, that's really cute.
It's grown on me.
Rindy.
But-
I
Rindy.
love it.
Call
I
her
think it's
Mindy.
cute.
We got some
Mindy's a
interesting
name.
names.
I've never heard
Carol's really
and I like how
only.
it's spelled. I think it's cute.
You can call her Rin.
Rindy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Name, I don't
But
know.
I kind of like those names.
Yeah,
That's
it,
another
it also
discussion.
makes it more interesting because it's like with specifically like unique names, and then it's kind of like okay, I can pick out who everybody is.
And
because
her
of those.
nicknames kept on changing for her. My little angel,
Yeah.
my sunshine, my
It's so
snowflake.
cute, and it's so sad. It's so sad.
With how that all goes down.
Megan's crying now.
But she knows what she wants, and she's not gonna give up her life.
Yeah.
You know, and she knew that there was no way for her to get out of this situation. So she's just like, fine, you take her.
Like
Yeah.
what Hard said when he meets like Trez for the not really meet, but like he says that's pretty bold. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty bold.
Like, we're not even divorced yet, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
A
Yeah.
woman returned your gloves and you invite her out on a date.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That is pretty bold. Okay, final thoughts, ratings out of 10.
I think with like the movie specifically, like, and I guess just maybe romance movies as a whole, like nothing about also because there's a little bit of nudity in it. It wasn't. To me, it wasn't too much, and it wasn't like only a little bit. I feel like it was the perfect amount, and you could just feel like the intimacy between them. I don't think it really dragged on. It might have felt like it dragged on for you, but
Making my friends
I was
watch
about
this
to
movie,
say,
I was like, oh my god,
like
this
looking around.
scene is much longer than I thought it was.
but it really it was really just like beautiful, and it just I don't know, the actors did a really good job of just making everything seem very, very natural. Like I mean, you could just feel that they were really into each other, and so yeah, I think I would probably give this an 8.5. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was beautiful.
Well, no, it's not the kind of movie I would ever like seek out on my own. But to be fair, I didn't even know about what was going on, anyways. But it was so well made. I could feel the emotion in it at all times. It was just I never felt bored. And that's saying something because we talk
That's
about how
good.
it's slow and steady, and I was never bored. I always
Okay.
wanted to see what happened next. So I am also I'm gonna give it like a 7.5, 8. I'm gonna go with an 8. I'm gonna go with an 8.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because watching like a movie like this where it's kind of slower paced that I've seen several times with other people, I'm like, oh, this is dragging. Oh, it's so slow. Oh, they're gonna be so bored. And so I'm glad that you mentioned that
everything
you
just
weren't
felt
bored.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I can say.
I give it like a 9 out of 10. I always rate movies on how much I enjoy them rather than other stuff. But I give it a 9 out of 10. I loved it. I loved how it was beautifully shot. I loved the film. I loved everything about it. Go lesbians.
Go lesbians.
Go lesbians.
Yeah, I would. This is up there for one of my like probably top 5 favorite movies. It has like a very like warm. It's like that warm Christmassy feeling, which I think is why I want to label it a Christmas movie. And so, yeah, beautifully shot. Actors are so good. I didn't mention, but it had 6 Oscar nominations.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go lesbians.
Did it win anything?
No. It didn't, but
It wasn't nominated.
yeah,
That's pretty
Kate
cool.
Blanchett and Mara Rooney were both nominated for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. Mara Rooney was supporting actress?
They're not supporting.
Which felt a
Main
little odd
character.
to me. Anyway, we're out of time at Cinema Sitdown. I will give Carol probably a 9.5 out of 10 for me, personally. Yes. Okay, that's all for Cinema Sitdown. Thank you for joining us. Check out more stuff on Red Digital. We do stuff a lot here. See you later.
Bye.